Hey there, friends. If you're loving these deep dives into personal growth and soulful chats, make sure to subscribe to Mirror Talk Soulful Conversations. Join us every week for inspiration, reflection, and meaningful conversations that feed your soul. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button now.
Pause. Take a break. Reflect on life. Your moment of greatness starts now.
Have you ever wondered about getting those knots out and getting rid of pains permanently and naturally? In this episode, we'll be learning all about this from a licensed massage therapist and medical massage practitioner. Welcome to the show, Diane. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode for a soulful conversation. I'm looking forward to learning so much from you about how we could get rid of our pains naturally, especially, without having to buy all those expensive equipment and having to go through rigorous, practices or methods to get our healing back again. So, but while preparing for this conversation, we talked about this also briefly before we started recording. I learned that you also have your own personal experience, with dealing with your pain. But before that, you were already into massaging, like you were already a massage therapist. I was reading that, you wanted to become a nurse, but, life had its way, things happened, and you ended up becoming a massage therapist. So would you tell us about the story? What inspired you to become a massage therapist?
When I was a teenager, hospitals had this thing called candy stripers, and we were volunteers. And I worked in a terrible hospital, which was good for me because I got to do a lot of things to help people. And I was, doing a lot of things with the patients that I really shouldn't be doing, but taught me a lot. And I really thought I wanted to become a nurse. But as you said, life got in the way and I got married, had kids, and I just never had the time to go to school. And then I needed to leave an abusive relationship with my kids and I needed a career. So I said, what am I going to do? Physical therapy, that's a lot of schooling again. And so my sister said, I know this lady who does massage therapy and she loves it. And I always thought of massage as just relaxing, go to the spa, put cucumbers on your eyes. And I thought, that's not really what but you know what? There was a school in my town, and it was a Mon Pops, Kitty and Hans Lear, and it was Helma Institute, and I was able to make dinner, put the kids in their pajamas, and then go to school at night, and it just worked out so well, and I worked part-time to pay for it, so they taught me so much about massage, and I loved it. So I started practicing. I said, I'm going to do this full time. And so I started taking care of people. And then about 3.5 years, about 3 years, and especially 3.5 years, it's a lot of work to do massage. So I myself was dealing with excruciating pain. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? My hands hurt. My neck was killing me because it's hard work getting in there. It's like physical.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
my shoulder blades between them felt like there was an ice pick in there. And I felt I was getting migraines almost every Friday because I was doing so many massages during the week that my neck was so tight that it was stopping the blood flow. And they were so bad that I just had to lay on the couch with ice on my eyes and my top of my head and my neck. And people don't know to ice when you have a migraine or a headache, but ice brings down the swelling. So I kept getting this fire. My lower back was on fire. I had sciatica. Oh my gosh, it was
Oh man, so many things. Yeah,
totally
so much pain.
sideways. When people they come in and, oh my God, this is killing me, that's killing me. I get it. Pain is real, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Right?
is. It is
It's
very real.
debilitating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I kept getting this flyer: work smarter, not harder, learn how to cure. And he had a list of about 20, 25 things on that list. And I threw it away. I said, no way. There's no way one therapy can cure all these different things, hammer toes, migraines, lower back pain, numbness in your hands, carpal tunnel. And so, he kept sending it, and I needed continuing education credits anyway. And it was in Boston. He was in Boston. So I said, you know what? Let's just take, I was with somebody at the time who went to who knew Boston. And I said, you know what? Let's just take a ride, and I'll take this course.
Mm.
Wow. Oh my God. That was it blew my mind. What
Mm.
this man was doing to these people on that table, and they were loving it. I've never seen bodies move that way. You
Yeah.
grabbing a shoulder blade and pulling it, and the
Mm.
legs going up and over, and I just, my mind was blown, and that
Mm.
was in 2003. But I understood the concept. And what he was doing was taking muscle fibers that were so tight, because when we
Mm.
use our muscle, it gets short and tight. You can see that in a bicep. And so when you overuse it, and, repetitive use, and so many people do that, sitting at a desk, or, whatever work you're doing, it's a lot, and it's overuse. So our muscle fibers, which are nice and loose when we're young, get so short and so tight, which is why we get these debilitating herniated disc, bulging disc, herniation, stenosis, bursitis. I mean, there's so many of them, because your tendons or ligaments, depending on what muscle and what bone it's attached to. I mean, we all know anatomy, right?
Mhm.
And our muscles attached to tendons or ligaments attached to bone. So if that muscle is too tight and has no more to give you, but you keep using it, it it just pulls on that bone, pulling it out of whack or giving you the pain. And there's no
Mhm.
pill that's going to open a muscle. There's no shot that's going to open a muscle. I mean, even physical therapy is great if you have surgery or you have an accident and you need to get rehabilitated. However, for muscular pain, they're all about, working it, working it, working it. So think about what happens to that muscle that's already short and tight. They're
Mm.
building up the muscles around it, but that
Yeah.
muscle that is already short and tight is saying, what the heck? You know, what do you do?
Too much tension. Yeah.
Right? It's already
Yeah.
tight. You don't need to do it anymore. I'm okay. I'm good.
Mm.
So that's where this therapy came in, because what he taught us was, we're all used of when you go to, I mean, even these stretch places that are popping up, they have, they take a muscle and you hold a stretch. Okay. 10, 15, 20. The longer I hold it, the better. You think about the muscle and the fiber,
Yeah.
it's like this. So remember, we want it like this. So if you hold that stretch, you're going, okay, all right, I'm giving it to you. All right, good. Give me a little more. And you don't have this. So
Mm.
that's where the 2 second, you hold it for 2 to 3 seconds, one breath out. So you take that tight muscle and you go, release,
Mm.
release, release. What?
Game changer.
makes total
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
Mm.
And miracles. I mean, in my body and in my clients. So that was in 2003. I took my first class
Mm.
and said, you know what? This is a lot. This is a lot to learn. So I started using it on myself. Remember, I was getting those migraines.
Mm.
So I said, all right, I'm going to start trying this on my neck.
Mm.
And so I started doing those neck stretches in the shower. And you know what? I
What?
didn't like it.
Uh-oh. Why?
I didn't like it. I said, oh no, this is terrible. I really feel this. Oh,
Mm.
that like this is, uncomfortable. And I stopped and I thought about it. And I said, you're already in pain. You're already getting debilitating migraines. This is uncomfortable. This is something you're not used to. You know what the concept is. You know what you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong. All you're doing is helping that muscle. So it's uncomfortable. Do it. And so I said, you know what? Okay. Listen to myself. And I listened to my
Yeah.
teacher and I started doing my neck stretches. And lo and behold, before you know it, I had more range of motion in my neck. The migraines went down to headaches, went down to waking up feeling, wait a minute. Now I only feel the ice pick between my shoulder blades and I feel that lower back pain that's on fire. And now I really felt them because now I was fixing my neck. So those two things were still there.
Yeah.
So I took another class. He came to New Jersey where I'm based. And he when he came to New Jersey, I said, yes. All right. Now I know. Now I know the concept. I know this is real. I help my migraines. And so now I'm ready to really do this. So I took the class in 2005 and he remembered me. He was like, oh, yeah, how you doing? And so when I came home, because I already now think about it, I've already been a therapist for almost 5 years. I knew I had a good, steady base of clients. And I said, do you mind if I try this on you? Do whatever you want, Di. I totally trust you. I know that you're good. You're only going to do good things for me. I opened the book and started stretching them like I've never stretched before. And they were like, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So they said the same thing I said when I first started doing it. What are you doing? But they trusted me and trusted the fact that I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And they let me do it. And again, miracles. Because normally, you get a massage and you go home and it feels good and it could last for maybe a day or two. However, it's like, okay, I paid that much and okay, that was good for a little while, but I'm still feeling my pain. So now everybody goes home with homework.
What's the homework?
The homework is there's the stretches that they need.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So whatever muscle is bothering them is the stretch that they get. So it's wonderful because I can hold them accountable.
That's good.
Yeah. Instead of them saying,
Yeah.
you didn't fix me. I'm still in pain. Say,
Mm.
well, did you do your homework? Are you stretching in between your sessions? Are you, and now people say, you know what, I'm canceling my appointment because I'm doing the stretching and I really feel better.
Mm.
It's amazing.
That's good. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you yourself do any stretching?
Yeah, I do some stretching, especially when I work out. So I do some warm-up stretches and some after workout stretches, especially the cobra stretch, for example, after workouts. And I do some of the arm stretching also, like to the left and also to the right. I do that quite a lot for warm-up also. Yeah, I do this kinder pose or something like it's a kinder pose, child pose, or is it cat pose? Yeah, I did the child pose a
Feels
lot.
good, right?
It's just very good.
Yeah.
It's just very,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
See,
Yes.
that's what most people know. It's a little bit stretching here, a little bit stretching there. And most people think that they should stretch before an activity.
Mm.
I don't believe I don't recommend that. If you just, come up and just stretch your arms out and just loosen up your body and start moving it before an
Yeah.
that's what you want to do is just wake up your muscles. If you
Okay.
stretch the way that I teach people, that's a
Mhm.
relaxing. That's what
Mhm.
I suggest people do that at the end of the night because when you're done using your muscles, because that's when the healing really happens. Because if you stretch properly before you go to sleep, then you wake up feeling better. You think about it. When you sleep is when your body heals, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
when we run diagnostics and that's when we get into the deep sleep if you feel good enough, like if people a lot of people get woken up with pain.
Mm.
You don't want to do that. You want to be able to sleep through the whole night, rejuvenate yourself, let your body run its diagnostics and do everything it needs to feel better and heal yourself, your body. And when you heal your body, it really helps your mind. And with
Yeah.
your mind, you help your soul, which, makes you just a happier person.
True. That's very true. Is it possible for you to teach us some of the stretching techniques that we could do at home? Like, what can I do? I mean, like, wake up. What can I do before going to bed or in between? Maybe while watching TV. What kind of stretches can I
Yes,
do?
that's great. Yeah, I love that. Okay. So the first thing I'd like to before I teach you a stretch is to teach you the breathing that goes with it.
Mm.
So many people hold their breath in a stretch.
Yeah.
You're not getting that stretch if you're holding your breath. And you
Mm.
think about it, how you breathe really matters because, if you don't take that full, well, when you do the stretching breathing, it's totally different. But just to relax yourself before you even go into the stretches, it's, that deep hold it for a few seconds. And when you breathe in all good thoughts, hold it. And then when you let it go, you let go all the stress and anything that in your outside world is bothering you because we don't want that to bother our inside world. It's all outside forces. If you allow that to really get in there, and that's how we get tight in the first place. We're
Mm.
worried about everything going on around us.
Mm.
However, we should worry about us first. If we're
Yeah.
not well, then we can take care of everything else around us, right? It
No.
falls to pieces. It's like, I'm this, I'm crazy. Taking that deep breath, taking it in, holding the relaxation, and just dropping. Early on in my career, I learned how to tell people, don't relax. Of course, we want to relax. That's the goal. But I've had their arm up and I'm just like, relax. I am relaxed. Oh, okay. Drop it. Oh, okay. So what I do
Yeah.
is I have people take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, drop your head, your neck, shoulders, arms. Just drop it. Just let go of all the tension.
Mm.
And you see, that brings you into a nice calm state. And then that will get you ready to really open up your muscles, open up your mind to let healing in, and know that you are a beautiful being that deserves to have good things and to have a healthy body. That's what we need in this life.
Mm.
So, when we do these active isolated stretching and we're in this nice relaxed state, it's
Mm.
only mouth breathing. So,
Oh,
we only
okay.
breathe in our mouth, and it's
Mm.
you take a breath in, shh,
Mm.
breath in. You don't even have to think about taking a breath in because once you're done with that stretch, you automatically
Mm.
take a breath in. So it's kind of cool how you just shh, and that's how it was funny because I took this class 3 times. I actually took 4 active isolated stretch classes, one with one other leading expert in our country. Like I said, it's been around for over 65 years. It's time for people to really know about this. And
Yeah.
so when I was in the third class, some guy came up to me and said, I hear you. What is that? I don't know that. And I said, it's just something that I do because this way I know how long I'm holding the stretch. I want to hear it.
Mm.
I know I'm breathing because I hear it. And when I'm doing it with my clients on the table, they hear me. So they know, oh, okay, we're breathing. Okay. So now to breathe. So it's
Yeah.
just that short breath. So the one that I think most people need is your neck. I mean, everybody's on their phones or on the computer or just overusing, a shy or not sure of yourself and you're bringing those shoulders forward. So now we want to open up the back of your neck. So you want to do this one with me?
Yes,
Put
please.
both hands
Yes.
behind your head,
Yeah.
And it's not your shoulders, it's just your head. Bring it down. And we're going to do 5 in a row. Okay,
Okay.
so pull it and breathe out.
Mm.
Release. Release.
Mm.
You see how you're bringing your elbows in? You don't even have to do that. That's much
Yeah.
work. Just bring your head down.
My head down. Okay.
Release.
Mm.
Release. One more. You're doing great. Release.
Mm.
Make nice. Always make nice after you stretch. That muscle says, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on here?
That's not what I'm used to. That's how I learned when I was doing them to my neck. And I said, oh, okay, I'll make nice. I'll make nice. Okay, good. Hero. I'm sorry.
No, it's
He's
good.
a
It's fine.
boisterous cat in the background. I'm sorry. But did you feel that?
Yes, I felt it. Yes.
Each?
Yeah.
And that's just one. Yeah.
Mm.
And do you want to do another one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I need some stretching right now.
Okay. So lower back. It's a bugger, right?
Mhm.
And most people, you're sitting all day, or even, people who commute and, they're in the car a lot, or, even people that are on their feet all day, their lower backs are killing them and they're on fire and it's painful. So the way that you do this one is right in your chair. And I like to have people do this when you're sitting on the couch at night, right?
Mm.
So you sit on the front 1/4 of your chair.
Mhm.
You walk your feet out in front of you so that you can see them.
Mm.
You bring one leg up
Yeah.
and onto the other one, and you pull up on your foot like you're looking at the bottom of your foot.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Pull up on your foot and you lean on your leg, not your kneecap, but your leg. Okay?
Mm.
Now pull up,
Yeah.
lean, and come forward. Your whole body, not your head. Bring your
Yeah.
body forward.
Ah, okay. Let's see.
Release. Oh, you feel that in your hip, don't you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do feel it, yeah.
We're gonna do 3 more. Go ahead.
Okay.
Down.
Down.
Release.
Yeah. Mm.
Another one.
Okay.
Release. You want to do one more because it's so good? One
Yes.
more.
Yeah.
Release.
Yeah.
So now you put it down.
Mhm.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your bottom.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel good?
It feels good. I mean, releasing some tension from the waist, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason that lower back pain, usually what it usually comes from is the bugger muscle called your piriformis. It's a real pain in the butt, but bump. Literally, it's a pain in the butt. It attaches at the top of your femur, which is your greater trochanter, and it runs under your gluteus maximus and attaches at your lumbar spine. So you could see how it could really pull at that. That's how people get, again, like I said, bulging discs, herniated discs, that fire across the top of your bum, which is your gluteus minimus. And, sometimes people put heat on it. And all you're doing when you put heat on an inflamed muscle that's already angry, you're putting flames on a fire. You don't want to put flames on a fire.
No.
I took a class from Harold Packman, who it was chirotherapy. So I learned about ice treatment. Always ice. And what you want to do is, there's an ice pack called the Chattanooga pack, and it's the best one that I've ever seen because it's only like $19, and you get an 11 by 14. and it becomes your friend. When somebody's in excruciating pain, ice it every night, because you want to bring down the inflammation from the day from you using it. You definitely bring blood to the area. You promote healing. It's the best natural anti-inflammatory, because it's immediate. And the thing is that sometimes, a lot of times, people just put the ice where they feel, or no more heat anymore. Now that you've heard this, so now some people just put the ice where they're feeling the pain. However, I just told you that the pain is coming from the middle of your bum. That's the belly of the piriformis. So that's why the 11 by 14 ice bag you put on the bottom, like right, you want to get the middle of your bum, and then the 11 by 14 comes up so that you'll get your whole lower back. And once you have that ice on you, the middle of your bum might start to sting. That's good. Get past that sting. Know that it is working, that the anti-inflammatory is working. It's bringing down the inflammation. And then before you know it, it goes numb, so that this way you can fall asleep. I suggest people go to sleep with these ice bags. Some people are like, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. It only stays cold for about, a half hour, 40 minutes. So you just go to sleep with that. And then, if you wake up to go to the bathroom or something in the middle of the night, throw it on the ground, pick it up in the morning, put it back in the freezer, and then this way you have it for the next night. And until you start doing these stretches, like anything else that's a good habit for you, it takes a little while before it starts working. Unfortunate, you'll feel instant relief, just like you felt that when you did that stretch. When you do it, you feel good. However, for long-lasting results, like anything else, you just got to do it on a regular basis, and that makes sense to me because your muscle didn't get this way overnight. No. Even though some people think, all I did was this and that was it. That's the thing. No.
It has been building up to that moment.
Yes. No. This has been happening, and it's been giving you little tweaks here and there. However, we ignore them, because in people's defense, they didn't know what to do, like, oh, it'll go away if I baby it a little bit. And yeah, I understand that, but it does, a tight muscle, especially when you keep using it, doesn't just go away. So that's why it takes a little while. I have a great story. So Maxine was in her 70s when I first started seeing her. And she had several shoulder surgeries. And say that 3 times fast, So she had several shoulder surgeries. And the doctor said, there's nothing else we can do. I mean, I can go in there and get rid of some of the scar tissue. That's another surgery, which makes more scar tissue. So she heard about me. So she started coming for massages, but better yet, she started coming to my stretch class. So when she first started coming, we would do the arm stretch and we would bring it up, and she didn't hardly had any range of motion. So she would go, make all these funny faces. And as she was making those faces, I knew she was doing it properly because I knew she felt it. You have to feel them. If you're not feeling it, you have to reposition yourself till you feel it. That's where the healing begins, because when you feel it on a scale of 1 to 10, if you feel it at a 4, you got to pull it a little more. If you're feeling it at a 10, you ease off a little bit. You want to feel it at like an 8 or 9 sweet spot, believe it or not. So she was pulling her arm back and she kept coming. So one day it was just her and I in the class. And before you know it, she's throwing her arm back and she's telling me about how her daughter's going to come with her granddaughter and her arm's going back. And I said, Maxine, look at your arm. Oh my God, there's no pain. I got full range of motion and no. We were both so excited, and that's just one story I have. But that one, because she kept coming, she kept showing up for it. That one was like right before my eyes because she was in class. Now, of course, I have clients that do this too, but most of them keep it to themselves. So, it's funny because when you wake up with pain, it's there. and you feel it, and it's just all encompassing. However, when you start doing this and you wake up and you just wake up and you just do your day, you forget about it. It's like, wait, I don't want to think about that. That was bad. Go
Yeah.
on and just do your day and just move forward. So a lot of them,
Mhm.
I don't even know that they're just like, I felt so much better. And you know what I really love
What's that?
is when my clients pay it forward and they come in and they're like, thank you so much. And I'm like, why are you thanking me? What did I do? Well, you taught me the stretch. And I had a coworker or a friend who was in pain, and I told them what to do. You told me this stretch and how to get rid of their tennis elbow or their carpal tunnel, or their
Mm.
trigger finger or their neck pain or whatever it was. They know
Mm.
the stretch and they showed somebody else. And then they came to that and, oh my God, that stretch is really working. So I just feel blessed.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
trust.
That's a great gift. Yeah.
It's a great feeling knowing that other
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are paying it forward and teaching other people the real
Mhm.
solution that's tried and true for muscular pain, all naturally.
Yeah. Thank you so much Dan, for sharing all of that. I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking me through that practice also. Like, yeah, it's really helping.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
And now you're going to want to do that because you need to do
exactly.
lower back.
Yeah.
Oh, and my book, You Can If You Say You Can. I'm actually working on a different title for it because
Mm,
even though that's a great saying, because it's so true, right? Whether
mhm,
you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you
mm,
can't. Either way, you're right. I
mm,
like that saying, but my book isn't telling people what's in it. So I'm going to change the title to Stretch Your Pain Away because that's
mm.
what's in my book. Stretch Your
Yeah.
pain away. It really, and my 87-year young mom who
Mm.
does these stretches on a regular basis is featured in the book doing these stretches. And everybody's like, hey, if she could do it, anybody can do it, right?
Anyone can do it. Yes. So, where's the best place for us to get the book from? I mean, once you change the title,
Well,
also, where can we
right now
get
you
it?
could get it with the title You Can If You Say You Can. So
Mm.
www get the knots out, because that's what we do. We get our knots
Mm.
out. Get the knots
Yes.
out.org, because when I wasn't looking, somebody stole my .com.
Oh.
Body, but this computer stuff.
Yeah, it goes very fast. It's very, very fast.
So get the knots out, GETTHEKNOTSOUT.org is my website. So you can learn more about learning more about these stretches and how you can
Mhm.
heal yourself naturally.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll put list the link to your website in the show notes of this episode. So I encourage everyone to just copy the link and get across to you. Get the book, even go to the website because you share a lot of knowledge or even on the website already and so on. Yeah, it's really beautifully made. Thank you so much. I just have one more question. When we're doing these stretches, I was like, oh, there must be like some guidelines, maybe some do's and don'ts that I have to have in mind while stretching so that, I don't misdo it, or I don't do it the wrong way, or I actually do it the right way to get the best results.
That's a great question.
Mm,
The don'ts is never go fast.
mm,
That's why I went over the breathing. Because if you think about it and you have this muscle and you go shh, 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 what are you going to do? No,
you tense it, yeah.
not much. You're really just actually aggravating that muscle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to go slow always. I like to do sets of 5, make nice. Do another set of 5, make nice. Every time you come back, and you always want to do at least 20 in one sitting. I mean, if you think about it, you do 5 minutes of cardio, what are you going to get? You do 20 minutes of cardio. Now you've got your heart going and everything else. So
Mm,
same thing with these stretches. And thank you for asking that. You do at least 20 in one sitting, because now, especially every time you come back for another set, that muscle goes, oh, okay, that's what we're doing.
yeah.
And you just want to feel it at a 7 or an 8 on that number scale, because if you
Mm,
feel it at a 3, you're really not really going to open that muscle like you really should. So, yeah, just go slow. Listen to your body. Number one, always listen to your body, because your body will tell you. Listen to your intuition. We all have it. We all know. A lot of times we ignore it. A lot of times if a doctor says, you need this, you need that. And I'm not putting doctors down. We need them. God bless them. However, when it comes to muscular pain, they really don't know about muscular pain. They know of muscles, obviously, but they know medications, shots, surgeries, physical therapy. In my 25 years experience, I've been doing this 25 years now, this is really the key for your muscular pain. No, there's no shot, those are all terrible band-aids. You don't want to cover that pain. The pain is your body's alarm. Answer the alarm and put it down, put out the alarm and put out the fire by healing yourself naturally. It's tried and true.
Yes. Your pain is your body's alarm. Put off the alarm.
Absolutely.
I like that.
And don't just hit snooze, because that's not going to do it. Answer the alarm by doing something, and this is it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really learned a lot from you from this conversation. I encourage everyone out there to visit your website already and get the book and start stretching right now. Get the pain out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, you made it to the very end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful for your time, your love, and your contributions. Subscribe, like, review, and share this podcast. God bless you. Bye. Bye.